going on, everybody? It's Dr. Michael here, Highland, I almost said Highland Therapy, Parkinson's Disease Education Channel. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, and it's time for What's Next Wednesday. It'll be our first one for May, of course. After all, it's going to be May. If you're a millennial, you'll get that joke. We just wanted to do a little update and let you know what's coming up on the channel. And to do a little pop quiz with you all who are watching live. I think that'd be kind of fun, a little bit more interactive. It's kind of a poll, but technically it's a quiz. Anyway, we've done a few videos, well, two videos in particular in the last month, where we covered some topics related to cellular health and how the cell health in the nerve cells can result in damage, and then Parkinson's disease can kind of come as a result of that. So if you've watched some of the previous videos, you'll know these answers to the questions on the little quiz we're doing right away. But if you don't, I hope you'll learn something today as well. And maybe that will prompt you to go watch the videos as well if you haven't seen them yet. And if you're watching the replay of this, I'll make sure to leave a card so that you can look at that. So for those of you who are here with me, let's do a little pop quiz. And I think we'll test your knowledge a little bit. So the first question I was going to ask you, and again, if you don't know this, it's perfectly fine. So that's why we're here. I want to teach people things. What part of the nerve cells is damaged by oxidative stress and can result in sick cells? And of course, those sick cells can lead to Parkinson's disease. So let me start that poll to see what your answers might be to that question. And again, if you haven't watched the videos that we've done in the last couple weeks, then may not see that, or may not know that answer right away, but you will be able to find it pretty quickly if you watch the videos or whatnot. While you're answering the poll question, I wanted to let you know what's coming in the future videos. We're going to be talking about, so the most previous video where we talked about supplements and dietary changes, that's going to be a kickoff for future topics. So we talked about a bunch of different supplements in the video, and I would like to break down each supplement one at a time and kind of talk about the mechanisms behind why that might help with Parkinson's disease. Why they might help the cellular health in Parkinson's disease. And I feel like that's an important topic because it's important to kind of know why you're taking things, not just that you heard somebody with Parkinson's said it worked. It may not work for everybody, and it may not work for you either, but it's something that's worthwhile knowing, kind of understanding a little bit deeper. Hopefully that's valuable to you to understand a little bit more about the mechanism of why it might help. But anyway, that's the future. So I think we're going to talk about CoQ10, coenzyme Q10, in the next video and kind of break that down. And then from there, we'll probably talk about glutathione, B1, etc. All those different supplements that are very widely used at this point for Parkinson's. I guess mucuna pruriens is another one. Somebody in the comments had mentioned a supplement called PQQ, and I was not very familiar with that one, so I looked up some information, and I may need to cover that in a separate video. Anyway, that's something that we'll be doing, and my goal is to have the first of those series of videos available this weekend on Saturday, whatever the date is this Saturday. The 4th. Saturday the 4th. By the way, I'm a Star Wars nerd, so Saturday's Star Wars Day, so may the 4th be with you. Hey, we got an answer on the poll. That's fantastic. I'm going to keep it up just a little bit longer, and then I'll answer or ask you one more question. And let me know in the live chat if you kind of... I think it's kind of fun to do these little quizzes. I don't know if you think it's fun, but I do, because it tells me a little bit about your knowledge base, and it's better than me just talking and not knowing what's going on in people's minds. But we do have one answer on the poll so far, and if anybody else is brave, put in a vote there. Otherwise, I'll end the poll, and I'll tell you the answer. And then we'll do at least one or two more questions. We've been going about 5.5 minutes. I don't want to be too long today. But also, if you have any questions in the live chat, I'd be happy to do that as well. Address that on the live while I'm here today. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. It's been long enough, almost 4 minutes, I think. So let me end this. So the correct answer was, in fact, what the person answered was mitochondria. The one answer we got was correct. So mitochondria is the part of the nerve cells that tends to be damaged or more susceptible to damage by oxidative stress, and can result in sick cells. So if you want to know more details about that, I talked about it more at length in a video several weeks ago, so please do watch that. Let me put up another question for you. Okay, I'm going to put the poll up now. Sorry, that took a few seconds. So again, when mitochondria are damaged, what toxic substance is released that results in cell damage? And that's something we've also talked about in the previous videos. I'm hoping this is thought-provoking for anybody who's new to the channel that's coming to watch this and thinking, I never heard this stuff before. Even if you're not participating in polls, you know, or in the quiz, I should say. I'll just do one more question after this, but I'll give you a minute to respond. Anyway, for those of you who just joined us live, I'll just repeat briefly. We talked about cell damage in Parkinson's disease a few weeks ago, and then we also talked about supplements and dietary changes that can help heal that cell damage or prevent future cell damage. And these pop quizzes are kind of surrounding that topic area. And so I do hope that you'll go watch those videos if you haven't already, and just give an idea. So for those, I don't know if you can see that poll that's up there, or it says poll, it's a quiz, but do try to give an answer on that, your best guess. I know some of these terms aren't familiar to everybody. So yeah, again, right on the money, reactive oxygen species, that's the answer, correct answer. When mitochondria are damaged by oxidative stress, they release reactive oxygen species, which essentially is free radicals, is what that is in layman's terms. And so those free radicals cause a lot of damage to the cells, or to the cell itself that the mitochondria are found in, and then surrounding tissues, because cells make tissue, right? So some of the answers, obviously green slime was wrong. Arachidonic acid is, that's actually something that's found in a lot of, or I guess it's produced after you eat red meats and some certain foods. I think it's found in those foods. It can actually be carcinogenic, so that's a kind of a toxic substance. Lactic acid is a natural byproduct of anaerobic exercise. So you feel that muscle burn after you do weightlifting. That's because of a buildup of lactic acid in your muscles, because you're depriving the muscle of oxygen the more you work it. That's the lactic acid, or the glycolysis process. Using up all that, you're producing ATP and you're losing all that, you're creating lactic acid as a byproduct. Anyway, one more little poll we'll do here, a quiz I should say, and then I'll call it a day, because we've been going about 13 minutes. But let me just do one more if you'll indulge me. This might be a giveaway too, but I Love YouTube says, when was your video? I'm assuming you mean the previous videos on this topic. So the one where we talked about cell damage and cell biology and all the detail, that was about, I forget what the date of the video was now, but it was about going on a month ago. And then the other video that we did covering dietary changes and supplements occurred or premiered on about almost 2 weeks ago. We tend, on average, it's every 2 weeks we do a new video on the channel. And of course they're available on the main part of the channel or in our Parkinson's disease education playlist. I can certainly, like I said, for replays, I'll put a card on this video if I can to link to that, or in the description. Maybe not in the description. I'll probably just do a card. And then, yeah. I don't know that I'll be able to link to it here directly in the live, but I could do that probably. All right, let me end this poll real quick, or this quiz. All right, so we got 2 votes on that one, and whoever answered alpha-synuclein, you get the gold star. The abnormal protein, specifically with Parkinson's disease, we're talking about most often is alpha-synuclein. And again, watch that video to find out more about that and kind of how that comes about. But the short answer is that the sick mitochondria that are damaged, that release reactive oxygen species. Well, let me back up. So mitochondria are responsible in part for the DNA of each individual cell. And so if the mitochondria is damaged, that basically means you're producing proteins and enzymes that are basically off, because the genes create those proteins, right? So if the genes are altered or not working right with the mitochondrial DNA, that results in so alpha-synuclein is a normal protein, but it can accumulate abnormally in the case of Parkinson's disease. And so that accumulation causes a lot of damage to the cell, and even affects the release of dopamine itself. So that video talked about that at length a couple weeks, or about, like I said, last month. So do look for that if you haven't watched it. Yeah, that's great. I appreciate your interaction today, and thank you for your question on I Love YouTube there. That's a good handle, by the way. Thank you all for being here today again, and look for a new video. My goal, like I said, is going to be this Saturday, May the 4th, to do a new video covering coenzyme Q10 and the mechanisms behind how that could help alleviate oxidative stress and heal sick mitochondria, among other things. So look for that this weekend, and look forward to seeing you at the premiere. Thanks for being here today, and I will see you next time. Be empowered.